They say you can talk to a fade, but a hook won't listen. Well, if you're struggling with hooking the golf ball, then today's video is for you. You're going to learn what's causing that hook and what you can do about it. You can download today's lesson straight to your phone just like this, and the link is in the description below. I'm Glenn Haynes. Welcome to Aussie Golf Pros, where we help you be the best golfer you can be. The golf ball hooks in the air when the club face is closed in relation to the swing path, so some side spin is imparted on the golf ball, much like David Beckham's free kick. He wraps his foot around the ball and puts that side spin on and can curve it around the wall. The club face is closing through impact too much, so it's closed relative to the swing path instead of aiming in the same direction the swing path's aiming. If we can get that happening, then obviously we're going to hit a lot straighter shot. But if that club face is closing too much through impact, then the ball is going to curve, hook, and end up in the trees or worse. So what are the main causes of getting that club face closed? Well, let's start with the setup. It's very easy to get the club face in a closed position at setup. So it's really important to make sure that you're square with the target at setup. That's going to give you your best chance of delivering the club squarely through impact. So for that, let's grab an alignment aid. When you're using an iron, we want that leading edge perpendicular to the alignment stick that's on the ground. And if you're using a wood, then we want the top edge. They're built differently, so you've got to look at them differently. What I see with a lot of golfers is that they might be fine with their woods and their hybrids, but their irons are set up closed because they're not quite looking at the right part of the golf club. So I've got a 6-iron here. We want to look at that leading edge. Sometimes you might have a white groove in the bottom. Use that for your alignment. So if we can get the club face square at setup, that obviously gives us a good chance, but it doesn't guarantee that the club face is going to be square when we hit it. Let's look at some other causes. The club face might be closing too much if our grip is too strong. So that means that for a right-handed golfer, then the hands would be turned too far to the right, either the top hand or the bottom hand or both. If the hands are turned too far to the right like this, twist the hands back to central and that closes the club face. So everybody's different and you see some different grips on tour. What we're looking for here is to find the right grip that suits you. Typically though, a standard grip means that you're going to be able to see 2 knuckles on your top hand and the V's formed by your thumbs and forefingers will be running up to your trail shoulder here. Even if you have an orthodox grip, it's very easy to twist the hands too much. Some people call this flipping through impact, where the bottom hand overtakes the top hand a bit too aggressively. So we might hit this shot and it's hooking off to the left-hand side because there's too much roll of the wrists, a bit too early and a bit too aggressive. Typically that's going to happen if the body isn't really turning enough through the shot, or you just might have overactive hands. Now we've talked a lot about club face, but your swing path can affect the direction the golf ball's going as well. So that stick there is aiming at the target. If you're hitting hooks, it stands to reason that you might also be swinging out to the right for a right-hander, and this swing path is called in to out. So even if your club face is pointing directly at the green, because of the direction that your swing is going, that also imparts that draw spin or hook spin on the golf ball, and it makes it difficult, well, impossible for you to hit it straight because you're swinging across the line too much. So if I demonstrate one of those, so even though my feet and knees, hips and shoulders are in line with the target, it's still possible to swing out to the right there, and that's caused by having this club too far inside here and maybe being too high with this finish. Let's demonstrate one of those and we'll see the ball curve to the left. So even though that started to the right of target, you can see that it's got this big curve on the shot and it's finished to the left of the target. And that's difficult to control. Of course, if you're swinging out to the right there like this, you're going to hit some shots that stay out to the right. That's when the club face is square. The ball just pushes straight out to the right there, and clearly that's not what you're after either. Keep an eye on ball position. If you have the ball too far forward, then your club is going to come around your body too much and the club face has too much time to close. It'll probably start left for a right-hander and then continue hooking to the left. Sometimes it might fade back, but generally if the ball is too far forward, you're going to miss a lot of shots to the left. You think you're hooking it, but really it's just more of a pull hook. And if you have the ball too far back in your stance, then you're approaching the ball too much from the inside, and we get that slinging shot, the one that might start right, but it's got too much curve and it ends up hooking to the left-hand side. So your ideal ball position is opposite your heart if you're a right-hander. Left-handers obviously just on this side. Want the ball just ahead of center for your irons. Your driver, yes, you're going to have that a little bit far forward, but you don't want it way out there. Keep your driver just inside your left heel there, your lead heel, right heel for a left-hander. And those ball positions are going to be much more manageable. Too far forward, too far back, that's going to be really difficult for you to control the shot shape and hit straighter shots. One of the most effective ways to improve ball flight is through differential training. Differential training basically means we're going to hit some different shots. So instead of hooking it, we're going to do the exact opposite. We're going to see if we can hit a slice. So clearly what that means is that we need the club face now open to path, so we've got the opposite spin on it and it's curving out to the right hand side. Now this is going to be very difficult if you're hooking because it's completely opposite to the habit that you've formed. So start with it slowly. We're not going to change setup here, apart from the fact that we want that neutral grip, those two knuckles showing, normal ball position, but now we're going to leave that face open through the shot and see if we can get it to curve to the right for a right-hander. So nice and slowly to start with. And you probably will need to do it that slowly until you get able to control that club face. Now notice that curve to the right. It's no good just swinging out to the right and pushing it there. It's not the direction of the shot, it's the curve of the shot that we're trying to chase. If you're hooking it, it's got that hook spin on it, it's curving to the left for a right-hander, and that's the narrative that we're trying to change. You can very quickly learn how to control the club face by changing your ball flight like this. Remember, start with it slowly. Now a little faster, and we're still going to curve it off to the right a long way. Nice big slice here. There we go, big curve to the right hand side, and we're changing the habit. Now I want you to do that several times, and then we're going to reduce it, so we're learning to control the face. So now a slight fade, same setup, but now I'm only going to leave the face open slightly as I swing through. And we're gradually reducing it, bringing back to target. This now becomes your goal. You're going to get 3 golf balls, you're going to hit 1 fade, 1 draw, and 1 straight one. Not wild slices and hooks this time, just soft fade and draw. And yes, this is harder and it's more advanced. But if you can get the hang of this, then you're truly controlling the club face through impact, and you're going to hit much straighter shots out in the golf course. Even if you prefer a certain shot shape or just to hit it straight out in the golf course, it's important to hit these differential shots in training because you're truly learning to control the club face as you hit the golf ball. So I've hit a couple of fades, so I'm going to hit the draw this time, and I'm not going to change the setup. I'm just going to allow that club face to close slightly through impact. There you go, soft draw. It was a little thin, a little low, but had the shape on it, a little bit to the left. Now we're going to do the opposite. Little open club face, curving off to the right hand side. Same setup. And a few yards off to the right. Again, a little bit of a curve, but this time to the right. And now the straight one. Now a lot of people say that the straight one's the hardest shot to hit. But realistically, if you can just get a good solid setup, it's all about just trusting your swing. The draw and the fade are the shots that were manipulated with the club face. So nice square club face, and then trust your swing. And a straight shot. Only by doing this can you truly understand the feeling of what it's like to be open or closed or square through impact. And that's very powerful for you to learn to control the ball out in the golf course. And it helps you to identify when you've hit a slice or a hook, and you're starting to really feel what the club face has done through impact as well. And that's going to stand you in good stead. Now, if your problem is slicing and not hooking, then watch this video next, and work out how you can correct that problem. There's your free download. It's also in the description below. All of the notes and images from today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching. We look forward to you coming next week. Are you the best golfer you can be?